Good evening. Construction season is still in effect, as well as some road closures in the border city. It's all part of the 2013 Street Improvement Program. Motorists are asked to take alternate routes and avoid the affected section of 50th Avenue. Crews will complete asphalt paving on 50th Avenue from 18th Street to 25th Street. It will be under full closure starting now from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. This will continue until August 27th. And on Wednesday, overnight paving will move to 13th Street to 18th Street on 50th Avenue, and on Thursday, 36th Street to 43rd Street will be closed off starting at 6 p.m. For more information, you can visit lloydminster.ca. Students are gearing up to go back to school, and some in the border city received a financial boost for the upcoming year. The Lloydminster Region Health Foundation gave away $37,000 in scholarships and grants this past week. Anna Knottveit has more.
22 students in the medical field gathered to receive a wide variety of scholarships. Wendy Plandowski says choosing the applicants is a lengthy process.
We actually have a scholarship review committee that sits down with all of the applications and goes through them and determines who will be the best candidate.
One of the deciding factors for the applicants is whether they want to work in the area after graduation.
One of the things that we hope for and look for is that students will return to our Lloydminster region, and our donors are ecstatic when the funds that they've helped these students with to go to school, and they come back and they train in Lloydminster.
The recipients will put the money towards tuition, and it's a big help.
As third-year nursing students, we are hired at the hospital to work for the summer, and they pay us a fair wage, but it's kind of nice to know that I didn't have to work every day and every night all summer to afford to go to school this year.
I'm so grateful I was chosen. It's just like I was working all summer to help pay for school, and now it's just like I don't have to worry as much.
The donors come from Lloydminster and surrounding areas. To apply for scholarships and grants, visit LRHF.ca. Anna Knottveit, Newcap News.
More than 1,000 festival goers made the trip to Battle River Ranch Camp this weekend, all to catch the second annual Hope for More Jamboree. Dozens of artists hit the main stage over the weekend as the Jamboree was held south of Lloydminster. Bands and speakers came from across the country to entertain the fans that came out.
We have a full family weekend of fun. I want to say it's like a big festival jamboree, like Big Valley, except for families, no booze, a fun weekend.
Concerts and inspirational speakers headlined the weekend, bringing in many from the region just to take part.
I'm really enjoying it. The weather's nice, just the different speakers, the music, it's just really good to hear. I'm really enjoying the different activities that they're putting on and just the heart that people have for this event, and it's really good to see that.
Organizers didn't have this year's attendance numbers just yet, but say they hope to do it again next year. A story of inspiration from Vermilion this weekend. A paraplegic man hosted a car show to raise money and inspire others to follow their passions no matter what the circumstance. Graham McCann reports.
Chris Repp was returning home from work 6 years ago and decided to take a shower, but a random fall changed his life. He ruptured his bowel, which created an abscess around his spine, which eventually made him a paraplegic. But Chris didn't allow this to end his passion for cars and driving, which led him to put on the Handicapped Hotrods event.
Basically, the biggest thing is I wanted to try to dispel the rumor that just because you're in a wheelchair, you can only ever drive a minivan or something like that.
It wasn't only cars at the event, but anything motorized that helps those who are physically handicapped.
He had designed it as his passion for cars. And so I posed the question. I said, are you looking for just about anything out there? And he said that we're looking for anything that makes your life better when you're in this type of situation, so you can go back to doing the things you used to love to do.
Bowers was severely injured in a motorcycle accident 3.5 years ago, but while he was in the hospital, he ordered a special tank chair which gives the operator freedom to go virtually anywhere.
It's made my life so much different to me. To be able to get around my acreage, it's all hills. My kids were snowboarding in the backyard and stuff like that. I could go right down there and take pictures of them and watch them. I could get around everywhere in my acreage. From the seat, I can reach the ground. I could work off of it. It's just such a great machine.
This gives Bowers the freedom to continue his work out of his shop that repairs off-road vehicles. But he says another hurdle to get over is the cost of basic needs. On top of that, the specialized chairs can run up to $30,000. However, the overall message is that even in the face of these kinds of tragedies, life is not over.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, there's just too many things out there that can make it better for you. And I mean,
just keep going, keep trying, and when everything seems like it's at the worst, then it can only go up from there.
All of the money Rep raises will go to the Canadian Paraplegic Association. Graham McCann, Newcap News.
And Kyle joins me now. Very interesting story. So someone basically from all the way from the U.S. has traveled to our border city to try for the Bobcats.
Yeah, and the Bobcats announced their 40-man roster after training camp. So meaning those that made the cut are one step closer to becoming a Bobcat. And like you were saying, one player hoping to don the black and orange traveled a long way to get here, and it's looking like the move is going to pay off.
When the Blackhawks celebrated their 2013 Stanley Cup victory earlier this summer, it seemed like the entire city of Chicago turned out in support. There were over 2 million people in the crowd, but Patrick Geary wasn't one of them. Instead, the Chicago product spent the summer focused on his own hockey career.
It was all hockey, training, and just getting to know where I'm going to end up this year.
The 18-year-old grew up a Blackhawks fan and likes to think he models his game after Hawks center Andrew Shaw.
Probably a playmaker, kind of goal scorer, also a guy who likes to mix it up, so a little bit of everything.
I see him as a complete player. He's not going to be extremely dominant in any one area of the game, but he's a guy that I think is going to be able to play in almost any situation he's faced with.
After a chance run-in with Van Herway earlier in the year, Geary decided the Bobcats were the team for him.
I was skating in BC for a while, and I ended up meeting Gary there and talked to him for a little bit and just loved everything he had to offer and everything the team had to offer.
He's a big, strong, very mature player that's got great work ethic, and I think once he gets here and gets comfortable, he'll fit in very well.
Making the move from a major U.S. city to a small town in the prairies is a big one, but Geary knows it's the right one. He's also hoping his experience in Chi-Town has him ready for his first Canadian winter.
They're still pretty cold, yeah. It's pretty bad, but I don't think it'll be as bad as up here. We'll see, though.
Well, as we told you earlier, the Bobcats cut their roster down to 40 after training camp. Today, this afternoon, they split them into two teams and had to go head-to-head with a collection of local media behind the bench. Newcap Sports Director Moses Woldu and Lloyd FM morning show host Brandon Baza were among the celebrity coaches at today's Media Cup. There are Moses and Brandon looking dapper behind the bench for Team Orange. First period, Team Orange gets on the board. Ryan Swire from the circle gets enough to beat the netminder. That would make it 1-0. Then less than a minute later, Team Black ties it up. It's Bryce Woodward going down the wing and picking the corner. It's a 1-1 game. Now, a scary moment for Tanner Davies. Spencer Johnstone out of the box with the check, and Davies goes head first into the boards. He would have to leave the game with a concussion and did not return. Moving to the second, still tied, Team Black takes the lead. Nolan Yaremchuk gets a kind bounce off the glass. It's now 2-1. Now 5 minutes later, a scramble in front of Team Orange's net, and Braden Combs slides it home. 3-1 for Team Black. Then Team Black takes a 3-goal lead. Crone to Parker Ward. 4-1 after 40 minutes. Now 5-1 in the third. Team Orange gets one back. Cole Porter snaps one home. Orange is with a little life. It's 5-2. Midway through the frame, Orange strikes again. River Beatty is stopped, but Swire won't be denied on the rebound. That is his second of the game. Makes it 5-3, but that's as close as they would get. Team Black defeats Team Orange 5-3. Gary Van Herway has some tough decisions ahead, but it's clear that Team Orange's coaches made a statement on the ice.
We're going to have to make some tough decisions tonight and some tougher ones tomorrow, and it's a day-to-day thing right now. So, no, I thought it was a very good hockey game, lots of energy, and, you know, you've seen good periods of skill being shown, and certainly they competed against each other, and that's what it was all about. Some kids in that Black team, if the kids showed up like that, they wouldn't be playing, I'll tell you that right now. So there's no doubt about it. If we get into a fashion contest, I know which coaches are going to win.